We are on the ICE headed to Koblenz on the Rhine River. And we're going to take a steamboat up the Rhine to see some amazing castles. Germany has over 25,000 castles, the most in the world. This is something I've always wanted to do as a kid when I saw castles on TV. So this is a dream come true for me. Let's get this trip started. We are in Koblenz, and I'm trying all new beers everywhere I can, local beers, anything I've never had before, and anything Pilsner, which is the best beer in the world. That one's good, smooth. That one's a little bit lighter than usual, but still good. All right, beer number 2, and a steak with hummus. This one's a little more rich than the other one. Yeah? Okay, sure. A little hoppier, but good. Not hoppy like the U.S. beers. But still good, smooth, a little bit more rich. She said don't touch that. Okay, so this is chicken. Oh, this looks so good. This is my favorite. Anytime you have mushroom sauce, mushroom cream sauce is my favorite. And broccoli is good. And look at these bad boys. I don't even know what these are. I don't even know what that is. It's a croquette. My brother is too busy looking at his messages to see the croquette. Like a cheesy croquette. Good stuff. All right, we just ate at this super awesome restaurant. There's outdoor seating, beautiful weather. It's like in the 70s, super cool and clear right now. All German food, plus some pizza and pasta, and this is right by the station. Here's the name in case you ever want to stop by. The station's just right over here. So next time you're in Koblenz, check it out. Really good food, good atmosphere, good beers. The name of the restaurant is named after the beer that they serve. Good morning. Check this out. This is our boat today. Over 100 years old. This is an old steamboat. Still running on the Rhine River. I'm going to take that for a few hours down the Rhine. And check out that badass castle up there. It's like a huge fort with all these walls. It doesn't look like a traditional German castle, but it's got all these walls and battlements and stuff. So we're going to cruise down the river, and hopefully the weather will clear up and we'll see a lot more of these awesome castles and stuff, and we'll get some good pictures. So the steamboat we're taking is the largest steamer in the world with side paddles, and it's headed south, which is upriver. So the section that we will be cruising through is considered the most scenic section of the Rhine. It will take 4 hours to get us to our destination in Bingen, which is 65 kilometers away. So let's get on board. Look at this. We found the real white castle. So this is called Stolzenfels. This castle was built way back in 1259, originally as a medieval fortress, and it was used to collect tolls on the river, but the French came along and destroyed it in 1689. Those bastards. So anyways, in the 1800s, it was finally converted into the palace that you see here. This is a pretty amazing looking castle. It looks like it's straight out of a fantasy movie. Look at this one. This is pretty awesome. This is Marksburg Castle, and it's rising up through the fog right above the city of Braubach. So I discovered that the tower they have is a butter churn style. That basically means that the upper width is narrower than the lower width. Also, Marksburg Castle is only one of 2 hill castles in this section that was never destroyed, and Napoleon actually used it as a prison. Another really cool thing that I found out is they actually made a copy of this castle in Japan on the island of Miyako-jima in the German culture village. Check this out. I didn't know that RVing was popular in Germany, but I guess it's catching on in Europe. And the best part about this, where these guys are parked, is it's right below a medieval German castle. That's pretty awesome. Okay, coffee of the day on our trip down the Rhine. And a hot chocolate. Good morning. Alright, check out this. Okay, this is the breakfast. Okay. There's a cheese and meat plate. Comes with the bread. Salmon for me. Yogurt. Plus honey and jam. So an omelet just arrived. An omelet. Orange juice. Oh, and sparkling wine. So I can make a mimosa. Not really big on drinking wine for breakfast, but here we are with the French breakfast. All of this, €13.40. Can't even eat it all myself, but I'll try. That's it. Time to dig in. If you can hear me. So this is Viking Cruises. If you've never heard of them, this is what their ships typically look like. It's really popular, and we've been seeing one for about every hour or so on the Rhine. It's something I've always wanted to do, especially having a private cabin and balcony right there in the water, and just drink German beer and cruise down the Rhine. That would be pretty cool, but unfortunately it's really expensive, so please support my channel and we'll see what happens. Okay, 11:30 a.m. That means it's lunchtime, and lunchtime means beer. I don't know if we've had this one yet. I've had it before. It's really good. Goethe from Tap. So this is one of my favorite. Highly recommended. And let's see. It's a little bitter. So if you like a little bitterness, this one's a really good smooth beer. There was something else I was going to say, but I forgot because I'm so damn tired. I think I had too much beer last night. Didn't sleep the best, but I'm enjoying myself, and that's the important part. Here you have Stolzenfels Castle and Rheinstein Castle. So these two castles, as you can see, are really close to each other and are often referred to as Feuding Brothers. This is actually a legend. The story goes is that you had two brothers. They were at odds with each other, and they tried to reconcile their differences by going on a hunt. So one brother was going to shoot an arrow at the other brother's window to wake him up to let him know it's time to go on the hunt. But right when he let his arrow loose, the other brother came to the window, opened it, and he was struck right in the chest, which killed him instantly. The real story about these two castles is that Rheinstein as a forecastle to Stolzenfels. So here's Mouse Castle. This was built in the 1300s, also to enforce toll rights. One cool thing about this castle is that they have an aviary. And in the aviary, you got falcons, owls, eagles, and they will provide flight demonstrations for visitors from late March to early October. Another cool thing to do if you ever come down the Rhine. So here's Rheinfels Castle. The castle now is only 1/5 its original size, and there's a lot of ruins up there, but there is a luxury hotel. So if you're interested in visiting the ghosts of all the sieges this castle went through, then this sounds like a really good one to visit. So we had Mouse Castle. So here is Katz Castle. So that's basically cat and mouse. I don't know if that was done on purpose or not, but this was built around 1371 and also bombarded by Napoleon in 1806. This one is actually privately owned. Unfortunately, you can't visit. This is Schonburg Castle. They don't know exactly when it was built, but it was mentioned in history, I guess, between 911 and 1166. And the lords of Schonburg ruled over the town of Oberwesel. The town decided to take it back. Another family is actually leasing this castle from the town, so that's pretty cool. Wonder how much that cost. Probably not cheap, but they have a hotel and restaurant there if you want to check that one out. This is Gutenfels Castle. It was built in 1220 and makes up part of an impenetrable toll zone. So right underneath Gutenfels Castle is Pfalzgrafenstein Castle. Hopefully my German was good there. And the island it's sitting on is called Falkenau Island. So this is across from Kaup. And I was curious how they actually enforced tolls. They would string a huge chain across the river and force boats to submit. Anyone who refused to pay the tolls would be thrown in a dungeon until a ransom was delivered. That is pretty hardcore. We got on the wrong side of the river. Don't make that mistake. So this is our hotel. It's called Krone Assmannshausen Hotel. This was originally a traveler's inn, which was connected to a horse changing station. So the style of the hotel is considered romantic Rhine style. So this hotel is pretty famous, and a lot of kings and movie stars apparently has stayed here. Now every single room and suite in this hotel is individually designed, so they're all unique, and some of the rooms actually have fireplaces and even a sauna. Now Assmannshausen, where we are staying, is just a small kind of village suburb of Rüdesheim, which is a big town to the south, but we wanted to come here and check out some of this more traditional style German architecture and history, so we came up here and thought it was pretty cool. And if you have a room facing the river, you should be able to get cool views of Castle Rheinstein, which is pretty awesome. Okay, we're in Assmannshausen. Assmannshausen. I think it's Assmannshausen, but it sounds like Assmann's house.
No, these don't belong to me. I'm not the ass man. I think there's been a mistake.
So we're outside in the Rhine, and boats are going by constantly, trains and everything like that. It's beautiful around here. There's castles like every few kilometers. It's absolutely insane. The weather's perfect, and of course I have to try a new beer every single day. This one is called Veltins. Starting to really like this one. It's close to one of my favorites. Super smooth, rich, golden beer. So try it. Come to the Rhine and get this. You'll love it, guaranteed. And we just got our food. So there's my chicken over spaghetti. Not sure how they'll be, but it looks good. Never been disappointed in German food. And then the birthday boy over here has a steak and French fries. Delicious French fries. Actually, these are really good. These are better than the other ones. Alright. I'm ready to eat. See you. I think this was built, when was this built? Like the 1800s or something? 450 years old? 450 years old. Okay, now I'm going to try this again. Locked. Okay, now it's not working. Check this out. It's so dark in here. Look at this hotel. It's like 400 years old. Let's go this way. Through the dark. Do you want to play with us? Do you want to play? Oh, we're gonna do this one. Check this out. This is a claustrophobic, it's the worst nightmare. There's no windows, no doors. If you get locked in here, you're locked forever. There's no way out. Are these doors actually stretching? Or is it a figment of your imagination? There we go. Here's the room. Nicely done. It's a old room, but they modernized it a bit. Has some charm. Man, can't even get outside here. Holy shit. Don't do that. Do that. Then you probably can't see this, but that light back there is a castle. Pretty cool. Good morning. We decided that we wanted to go back up the Rhine and check out one of those towns that we passed by on the way down here, or should I say up here. And there was also some castles we missed during lunch and breakfast. So we're gonna grab a ferry, and the town that we picked that we're gonna go to is Bacharach, which looked pretty cool and is also highly recommended. It's on the west bank of the Rhine. And one cool thing is that we found these small ferry terminals right outside our hotel, just a couple minutes away. And they cruise up and down the Middle Rhine Valley, and they stop at all the different towns that we cruise past. So it's really easy to get. You just hop on one of these boats, make sure you check the schedule, and you can pay on board, and you're good to go. Also, we noticed that these boats do this really cool fishtail thing when they are going down river, I guess to combat the strong currents. But they flip around before they park, which was pretty cool. Rheinstein Castle was constructed in 1317. But was actually in decline soon after that. But then in the 1900s, it was rebuilt, which is cool. Now, one interesting thing about this castle is it has a working drawbridge and portcullis. Did I pronounce that right? Portcullis. So that's pretty typical of medieval castle architecture and defense, and the castle's open to the public. So if you do want to see the drawbridge and portcullis, then definitely check this one out. Oh, just as an aside, the owner in 1323 was named Matthias, Count of Buchek, Archbishop of Mainz. Now that's a cool title, and I don't know about you guys, but he sounds like a pretty cool guy. Here we have Reichenstein Castle. This was a notorious nest of robber barons. So a lot of robber barons used to live here or call this home. They would feud with other territories, so it was kind of an unlawful period of time by a bunch of unlawful people. So in 1290, basically King Rudolf of Habsburg, what he did is he put a ban on reconstruction of Reichenstein and Sooneck Castle, and he rounded up all the robber baron knights and just decided to put them to death. I guess problem solved. Here's a little interesting fact. This castle has the largest collection of cast iron plates in the Rhineland, and 1,200 hunting trophies from all over the world, including weapons, arms, porcelain, and furniture spanning over 5 centuries. So if that's your cup of tea, come down here and check them out. Here is Castle Sooneck. This was built in the 11th century and was destroyed in 1282 by King Rudolf, who we just mentioned. Later on, it was actually rebuilt and destroyed again, like many of the other castles on the Rhine, by the French troops in 1689. So that's King Louis XIV, if you're looking for somebody to blame. So in the middle 1800s, the Crown Prince of Prussia and his brothers came down here and decided to just buy the castle, and they had it rebuilt into a hunting lodge. So that's kind of cool. Hey, just come down here and let's hang out in my hunting lodge. It's a castle. It's, you know, we just come here on the weekends, during the summer, whatever. Let's hang out. This guy behind me is delivering food. He's delivering schnitzel and french fries. So this boat that we're on cost 25 euros for 2 people round trip. That's to go half an hour downriver, 1 hour upriver, and you can sit outside and you can order food out here, beers, freaking awesome. Alright, so we're now arriving in Bacharach. This town is a lot smaller than the others that we saw, but it looks super interesting. So I'm looking forward to this one. Let's get off board and go check out this medieval German town. There goes our boat. Alright, this is Bacharach. Small little town. Looks pretty interesting. Lots of little old wooden framed houses here. And there's this like chateau up here, which apparently is now a youth hostel. So if that's true, that's pretty badass. Oh, so some interesting things about Stahleck Castle that I found out. It stands on a crag. So the translation of Stahleck Castle is impregnable castle on a crag. And interesting thing about this castle, it has a water-filled partial moat. And these types of moats were actually pretty rare in Germany. We're looking for a pizza joint because we wanted to eat pizza once on this trip, and pizza in Europe, even outside of Italy, is pretty damn good. And this one is ranked number 2 in the city, or in this town. Oh, they even have the names of the restaurants on the directions. And there's a beer garden, supermarket. Everything's listed because this town's so small. That's pretty cool. There's the beer garden. May have to check that out later. We got a couple hours. Here's these old wood framed houses that they were talking about. Look at that. It's like it's a little bit crooked now. Maybe hundreds of years that's been there. Check out this cute hotel over here. Bacharach. Super dark in here, and this place is really old. Like we'll show you in a second. The ceiling like moves at an angle downwards. It's pretty crazy. I feel like the whole restaurant's at an angle. Anyways, found another new beer. This one is called Koblenz, I think. Koblenz. So let's see how this one is. I can just sit here and do that for a while. That one's really smooth. It doesn't have any bitter taste. Doesn't have any hoppy taste or anything like that. I would say that's one of the smoothest beers I've had in Germany. Really like it. So if you ever come out down the Rhine to Bacharach, come to this little pizza place that we're at and have one of these beers. Cheers. I forgot to say cheers. Cheers. Ah, that's good. Again, I'm talking quietly because it seems so quiet in here. I think people are enjoying the food too much and the drinks. So anyways, this is the restaurant. It's a little dark in here. Actually, it's really, really dark in here. We got this little light, this little very pale light. I feel like it's a lantern from like the 1500s, and we're sitting in some tavern in, you know, some old little town in Germany, which we are. It's just not a lantern. And this is the whole restaurant. It's probably about like 8 tables in here and a little bit outside. We don't want to be too bright here, but this is the name of the restaurant. Krupfelsische Münze. So here's the pizza I got, which was really good. And the guy here is super friendly. This one is the second best restaurant in Bacharach, but it is a lot less expensive than the other one. So stop by here next time you are in Bacharach. This is the restaurant we just ate at. Pretty cute. Oh, here's the name. Let me get that. Historic place. Historical wine house. There we go. Okay, if you are looking for a public toilet in Germany, anywhere you see WC, wash closet, I guess, similar to the UK, that's your public toilet. Make sure you have change, because most of them will cost you 50 cents. So always have change on you, because they don't give you change. If there's nobody there, you'll find a bowl at the front of the bathroom that you just throw your money on, and that helps pay the people that clean the toilets. And you'll notice that a lot of the toilets in Germany are quite clean. Here's our boat. He's cruising against the current, so he's trucking right now. So Furstenberg Castle here was built in 1219 to protect the Archbishop's land around Bacharach, where we just came from. It was destroyed by the French between 1688 to 1690. What a surprise. So In the following centuries, it deteriorated into its current state. There was no effort made to restore this castle. However, it is currently privately owned and it's not open to the public. These vineyards you see here are all up and down the Rhine. Here is Nollig Castle. This is also a ruined castle. So the interesting thing about this castle is that it was built over the walls of an earlier Roman fort. And the reason it was built was to counter Furstenberg Castle. Technically, it's not really a castle, but it was a bastion of one of the walls of the town of Lorch. And I hope I pronounced that one correctly. It is also privately owned and unfortunately not open to the public. Well, that's it. Here's our stop. There's our hotel. We got to jump off and hurry and pack up our bags because we have to grab a train. We don't want to miss it. And we're headed to the next city. So that's it, guys. I wish I had more time on this trip. There is so much to do. I didn't realize when we came down here, we thought, just do a Rhine River cruise and check out the castles. I had no idea all the towns that they had, the castles, the ruins, the towers, the hotels and restaurants and views and chairlifts and wineries. I mean, it is just absolutely mind-boggling how much stuff there is to do in this 65-kilometer stretch of the Middle Rhine in Germany. Not only that, but the castles that we saw were absolutely amazing. So if you ever come to Germany, definitely check this out. Don't miss it. I know people love to go to the big cities, but based on my experience here, it was a dream come true. Book one of these ferries and cruise down. Try to squeeze that in your trip. So that's it. I'm signing off. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you found the most interesting and if you would ever come here to visit. So we'll see you guys on the next one.